I now give the floor to the designated speaker for the NFP, the Honourable Lenora Qereqeretabua. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank the Honourable Minister for his statement and commend him for the quote-unquote big plans he has outlined. Now, we've seen reports, Mr. Speaker, and heard of him distributing chicks and handing out vegetable seeds, though many have complained about quantity and some even questioned quality. We have heard him of starting a new initiative of collecting young coconut trees that have germinated after lying on the ground for a while from trees in many family compounds. All well and good, Mr. Speaker, but the Honourable Minister and his ministry must realise that in this depressed economy, where people struggle to buy even the cheapest of foods like salt for cooking, they are simply unable to buy food for chicks or manure for plants. Many in the rural areas do have access to animal manure, but those in peri-urban and others don't. So it is imperative that the Honourable Minister looks into this so that his initiative doesn't go to waste. The ministry might like to listen to the farmers more instead of trying to tell them how to do what they know very well how to do. Mr. Speaker, we've also received complaints from people about the manner in which distribution of assistance has been happening. These people have called my party leader and my party office. We have received calls from Singatoka, in particular Nambitu, that only a few farmers have been assisted. In fact, there is a claim that these farmers are very well acquainted with the Honourable Minister and certain Agriculture Ministry officials at district level. This is the second time in a year that our office has received calls from Nambitu, and the complainants are very displeased, and we hope that the Honourable Minister looks into this matter. Earlier this year, there were complaints about a few advisory councillors and even one Honourable Assistant Minister being selective about which person received assistance based on political support in the last elections. This is despicable. I will continue. Thank you, Mr. Minister. Honourable Speaker, my party leader raised this issue with the Honourable Minister in writing and received a written reply to the effect that no such favouritism took place. However, and despite the Minister's assurance, we continue to receive complaints. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, probably a word of advice to the Honourable Minister. Please continue to do what you are doing in assisting people. But please don't make statements that sound ridiculous and illogical while meeting and assisting farmers. The Honourable Minister opened 2020 with government were responsible for increasing prices. Then he told cane growers in the Western Division to plant Yangona. He should know that the climate in the West is not conducive to good Yangona yield. Then he switched to advising cane growers to diversify and plant rice. Last week he said he wasn't worried if cane growers had switched to tobacco farming due to negligible returns from sugarcane production. It is in the Honourable Minister's best interest to continue advocating sound agricultural policies instead of becoming a farm extension or field advisor. The last thing we need in this country right now is chaos and confusion in the Agricultural Ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.